All right, fellas, we're back on.
Yes, sir.
Saturday morning.
It's that time.
Welcome, everybody, to the Crypto Crew, and we have a good show today because we got lots going on.
In the life of cryptocurrency, man, it's never a dull moment, as you would say.
No, there isn't. It's really put a lot of excitement in my life.
Oh yeah.
It's not like when you were a young guy, you got a new job. Remember, everything kind of revolved around that job, man. I'm getting a raise, and all that kind of stuff, and you're excited. And so if you've been working for 40 years, like a lot of us, 30 and 40 years, 30, 40 years, it's heck. I mean, everything kind of has a little way of diminishing. And this has kind of put a spark in me. I don't know about you guys. It's like a new horizon.
It's a new way of doing things. Well, Bitcoin. What did Bitcoin go up to this week?
Well,
the high.
The high was about 76, wasn't it? Or maybe almost 8.
Oh, and where is it at right now?
Well, I don't know. Let's take a little quick peek of it, okay? I think that's a good way to start. All right. Well, it's right now, and just make sure, guys, refresh this in front of you. Okay. It's 64.5.
Okay, it went to 70. Now it's to 64. Now, the average person at this point will be panicking,
Oh, yeah.
for it to drop that many percentage points. But the thing that we have to get used to in this market, it's always called pullbacks. It's going to do a high, and it's going to pull. And what's the great thing about pullbacks?
Well, you can buy.
Yeah.
That's the key. Well, here what happened this week, too, folks, if you're not really involved in this, and everybody that's involved in it, of course, knows this, but Segway 2 was canceled.
Yeah.
My gosh, here I am. I'm talking to my wife. We say, okay.
Get ready.
Get ready. Bitcoin's climbing. It's climbing, then the altcoins are decreasing because people are taking money out of their altcoins
and going into
Bitcoin. And they're not buying new altcoins. They're putting everything in Bitcoin because it's going up. It's on the rise. Well, we jumped in the bandwagon with everybody else. So I think you texted me first, Carl.
Yeah.
Or you. I'm not sure which one of you guys.
Okay.
Boom.
Oh, that was Marvin.
Segway. It was you, Marvin. Segway canceled. I went, are you kidding me? Is he sure? Where did he get this? So I'm with a client. And I'm going, I want to go find out.
Yeah, man, it keeps you on your toes, man.
It really does
keep you on your toes. And, it's just the subtleties of it is a lot of people did that because they was anticipating on getting another Bitcoin.
Well, see, that's what I was doing. We're trying to get, more Bitcoin all the time.
Right.
And so we were buying. But, I noticed, that Segway wasn't canceled. It was canceled, but I'm sure there was a couple weeks of people really in the know knew that it may fall apart.
Yeah.
The agreement of all these guys that were programmers, they were kind of being split. The community was being split, So they decided rather than split the community and cause a lot of undue stress on the whole system, they just canceled it. And which was good, I think. Don't you feel good about it?
I feel that it was good because we don't want it to appear to like the banks where you got a certain few people controlling the directions of how this money is going to be, this cryptocurrency is going to go.
Yeah, I think you're right, Carl.
Yeah, I don't like overall. We don't.
And I'm really proud of the guys and the programmers that are in this leadership up there on the Bitcoin code, saying, it's not really worth it. Let's don't disrupt it unless we know for sure
that something is wrong.
That's wrong. If it's not broke, don't fix it. So we've already had one of those breakoffs with Bitcoin Cash, and Bitcoin Cash has done fairly well. I mean, it dropped to nothing originally, but now it's up over, what is it today?
That was a big surprise, too.
Yeah, that was a big surprise. Let me see if I can find that. Someday I'll learn the computer. Okay, let's take a look at that. Number 3. Well, look at that. I bought it at 600 this week. It's over 12 this week. Now, I saw it creeping up, and it's kind of funny. I said, these altcoins, because I dumped out of a lot of altcoins. I did what everybody else did. I dumped out of a lot of my altcoins, and I started putting it into
the Bitcoin.
And so I'm thinking I'm going to be so smart. And then as soon as that, gets up to where it's at, I'm going to sell some of that Bitcoin on, but I'm going to enjoy the rise. I'm going to ride and enjoy that increase, and then I'm going to go back and buy those little altcoins. Well, they weren't falling as fast as I thought. That's why I think the guys who knew, it's kind of, they didn't make the decision yet, but the guys that knew were saying to their friends, we may not do this. We may cancel this. Wow. It's not worth the stress. So that it wasn't as much activity in there.
Why was Bitcoin Cash created in the first place? The only reason that it was created...
Increase that block size.
Yep. No. The reason that it was created because it was hacked. And they were trying to fix a problem.
I didn't realize that.
Oh, that's the reason it was because it got hacked and they were losing money. And they had to find a way to take care of it.
For the original Bitcoin Cash.
For the original. So
they fixed it.
That was the purpose of it, not to manipulate it. It was to solve a problem.
But they also did something else. And Bitcoin had an inherent, the pure Bitcoin is being looked at as kind of a gold because people are holding in it. They're not spending it as much. You can spend it. But the other coins that have been created since are more because they're faster transactions. And the reason that the transactions can be faster is they've fixed or they've added improvements to the basic
space.
To the basic blockchain. But people like to hold Bitcoin. And the Bitcoin Cash, it has a segue in it. That's why they called it Segue 2. Yeah. The segue in Bitcoin Cash, the one that's up there at 12, I'm sitting here looking at this thing, and I need to get back to our beautiful faces. Get to the CryptoCrew's beautiful faces out here.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, looked at that chart long enough. But so that Segue 2, this one, which was Bitcoin Cash, it does have the ability to make the block bigger and to make it easier for the miners to mine. So I think that got figured out in all of this discussion. And people started saying, and they say it comes from the Korean market too. Koreans love Bitcoin Cash. Yeah. And so it's been developing due to a number of factors, but that's why it's up there at 1,200 and something. I forget what it is, 1,238 bucks. Right now on a Saturday morning. So so many changes going on. So anyway, when I got the call from you, I finally dismissed myself from a meeting. And I went in there, got on my computer and shifted some things around. And I started cashing out of some of the or buying back actually some of the altcoins that before they got crazy, and I lost but I did okay. I still increased my Bitcoin though, but now it's down from where I bought it. Right. But I figured it might bounce up.
Well,
didn't think it was going to go down to where it is now. I'd have waited till today to go ahead and buy.
Well, based on the projections, based on the pullback that happened, they say that it's going to go up to 10,000.
I agree with that.
Before the year is out.
I agree with that.
Wait a minute, the bigger the pullback, the better the rise.
The better the rise. That's what happened last time. Yep. So, there's some predictable things. It's all speculation.
It does the same thing.
Yeah, it does speculation.
Yeah, but it's the Bitcoin pattern. Bitcoin hasn't gone out of pattern. That's what it does. And the more you see it, the more you can ride it. That's the concept.
And you get more confidence.
You get confidence because you know how
it's working.
It's like a mechanic. He understands an 8-cylinder car. He knows when it's running less, and when he knows how to increase the horsepower on it. He sees those kind of things. I know that might be a bad analogy. Sometimes my wife tells me you're bad with analogies. But
our wives tell us that all the time.
But it's the same thing, man. This is, as we always said, this is not the time to be scared. It's the time to be smart.
I like that statement.
It is. It's going to do. Bitcoin is going to do this 2 years from now. They'll still be doing the same thing. Matter of fact, it may be even a little more drastic because you're going to have more people getting involved.
The government's getting involved. Now, we talk Bitcoin. For those who are new, we talk Bitcoin, and it is the gold of the cryptocurrencies. But it's one in first. It's a big bad
well, it represents 41%.
41% of the whole entire crypto market.
For now.
Yeah, that's huge.
For now.
Yeah, for now. And it's huge.
Yeah, it's
and
huge.
And it's a wonderful, wonderful product to hold value in.
Property now.
Property. Yeah, you hold value in it.
Yeah.
It's a property that you hold value in. That's the way the U.S. government looks at it. That's why when you take it out, that's when you get taxed, not when it's growing there. It's really kind of grows. It's a capital gains tax, basically, isn't it, when you take it out?
When you take it out.
And we talked about, my opinion on that is just completely different. If you take your after-tax dollars, you should be at liberty to gain as much as you want with that money and not pay
shouldn't
the
be
government
double tax.
at all.
Oh yeah, we're being
You're
hosed, baby.
You're being hosed.
We're being hosed.
Hey, that's just the way. That's the way. Unfortunately, it is, and this is why you take advantage. And I'm just saying right now, take advantage of the cryptocurrency market.
Yeah.
Take advantage.
Take advantage of this. Now, a lot of people say, "Oh, this is a fad. It's a bubble. It's phony." And
so was the pet rock. The person
that's a pet rock.
Yeah. So whoever created those came out of it a million.
Well, they came out a million.
Yeah, they came out.
But there again, that's a pet rock.
Yeah.
This is not a fad like that.
Nah,
and I'll tell you why. First of all, the money that's wrapped up in it, and all the companies that are wrapped up in it, and the conversation and the chatter out there in the financial arena is all about it. This is not a fly by the night.
No, you got to look beyond. Sometimes the other parties, you got to look beyond Bitcoin.
There you go.
And that's where a lot of us are stuck on. But the more you get involved in this, you can look beyond Bitcoin, and you see blockchain, guys. Blockchain is huge. It is so prevalent and so it's going to be so relevant to everything. It's going to disrupt those industries we talked about, those 19 industries. Blockchain is going to turn society on its head.
I'm going to show a graphic on that. Let's talk about that. Let's go to that graphic real quick. Well, not that graphic, the other graphic. Hold on. That graphic.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about that. These are not fly by the seat of your pants companies. They have people they can hire that look at everything. They look at the future. They look who's involved. These fellas are involved in what they call the Ethereum Alliance.
But what industry do you think of? We
Everything
got banking.
you think of. You got banking. You got insurance. You got health insurance.
Well, let's take a look. Some of them. You got oil company. There's an oil
British
company.
Petroleum.
J.P. Morgan Banking. USB, that's accounting.
Yeah,
I think it is.
You got Intel, you got Microsoft, ING,
Computer Technology,
Credit
ING
Suisse.
Insurance, Credit Suisse. I mean, these are huge companies.
What are they in it for, guys?
And if it was a fad, why would they put any resources in it?
Now, here's the thing. You know, they've been doing this for years. You know they've been doing it for years. They've done research and development. They've hired some of the top people to do it. You remember we also talked about American Express. I mean, not American Express, but Bank of America is patenting blockchain.
Yeah.
Why are they doing that?
Well, these blockchains are so useful, especially the ones that in that Ethereum Alliance we just looked at with all those companies. They have taken the beauty and the gold and the wonderfulness of blockchain technology that's in Bitcoin, and they've created a way for companies to capitalize on it and change it up in the actual software configurations to do specific contracts, to do specific things with what they call smart contracts. Now, I'm not very smart, so I don't understand all of the background of that. But I do read about it, and I know that these guys that are in the programming business, they know what they're doing, and they create these blockchains to be specific. Some of these blockchains are specifically involved in finance. Others are supply side. Some are just...
So you can cater it to your industry.
You cater it to your industry, and you solve some of that back office problem you talked about with the banks.
And that's what the thing. So that even tell you a lot of companies are hiring people to train them and to develop them in blockchain because it's a wide open industry that most of them they still trying to discover it themselves.
Well, you know what they're doing right now? They're hiring all of these kids coming out of school, right? And they're paying them 10% more than the regular job if they go into this particular.
If they go into that.
And on top of that, guess what they're paying them in?
Bitcoin.
They're paying them in Bitcoin, not
or
cash.
Ethereum or
There
something.
you go.
Yeah. These kids, think about the kids that's coming out of school are not asking for cash.
Well, you know,
they're asking for cryptocurrency.
I'm telling you, I was telling you, earlier, I own a marketing company, and we create websites, and we create videos, and we handle companies' advertising for them and help them find the best buy and all that. Well, we do have, this time of year gets a little slow in the building websites and doing videos.
Yeah.
I am going to launch, I'll be talking to my operations manager on Monday. I'm going to launch a campaign because we need to keep the people that we hire busy during these holiday seasons. And I'm going to put something out there that said we take cryptocurrency and give you a 50% discount. Because we can take that, hold on to that. Because it would be easy. It's found money because people just, it's a 50% discount. They're going to take advantage of it. Even though they maybe wouldn't start something at the holidays, they're going to wait the first of the year to do a video or do a website. They may say, hey, let's start early and get that 50% discount. So I'm going to hold that money anyway because I wouldn't have had it because they're going to wait till January anyway. So I'll get the business in, keep my people busy. And then by the time January comes around, with the way cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and all that's going, it'll make up that 50%. They've got a good deal. I still haven't lost any money. It's a win-win for everybody.
Do you know one of the guys, the top speakers in the crypto market?
Yeah.
People would ask him to come speak, right?
Right.
And what he would do, he said, if you paid me in Bitcoin, I would charge you 10% less.
Yeah.
And the people didn't pay him any attention. So because they didn't want to go through the trouble to find out how to convert the money to pay him in Bitcoin. So what he did, he started charging them 20% more just to force them to pay him in Bitcoin.
Now he's a marketer. I should learn something from him.
That's an incentive.
That's an incentive.
Yeah.
If you pay with U.S. dollars, you cost just 20% more to do business with New Day Media. But if you
pay me in Bitcoin,
you get the good price.
You pay attention. That's what that's about, man.
Isn't that an interesting concept? Bitcoin, for example, is so valuable. All three of the coins that are on CoinBase. CoinBase is a smart company. They're the biggest exchange out there, Coinbase is. And they offer Ethereum, which is associated with all those companies, with those smart contracts on their blockchain. That's very good currency to have in the digital area. They got, was it Litecoin? Litecoin's like the silver of, it patterns itself after Bitcoin, and they got Bitcoin.
There you go.
So it's something people can, and it's not like, well, how am I going to get Bitcoin to do that? Go to Coinbase, set up an account, and buy it with dollars and get your discount.
Buying Bitcoin is easier than getting a checking account.
It really is.
It's easier than checking.
And you don't have to fill out that long form that tells you.
Give them all your information.
Man, you can have an account in Coinbase in terms of the paperwork. Such thing as a paperwork.
Show your ID
within a minute.
Yeah, you show your ID. There you go.
There you go. Now, as far as the verification,
you upload an
part,
ID.
Other than that, it's just as simple. It's just as simple. But I used to work in a bank. If you put a $10,000 account check into an account that you're just starting to open an account, the bank's gonna hold it for almost 2 weeks.
Isn't that amazing?
Well, you bring up okay, it's simple to put the information in, right?
Yeah.
Is it simple for someone to steal it too?
Of course it is.
Okay.
Of course it is.
Well, here's the other thing. That form, it's probably different than when you work for the bank. That form now, it says within the small print, and I mean it's like two or three pages of small print, setting up a simple account with the bank. Okay, and these guys are actually paying you. I've seen upwards to $500. Have you seen that? To set up an account with Chase. Most of them are like 100, 125, or 150. But I've seen one, and maybe it's a business account, but they pay you to set the account up. Well, if you read the print, you're not, when you put your money in the bank, you're not depositing it, and it's not your money anymore. You're buying shares in that bank.
Right. Yep.
They're shares.
You are an investor.
You are an investor,
and they
in that
can do
bank.
what they will.
With that way, and I'm telling you, I don't even know with that kind of arrangement you signed for if you have the 250.
Well, who reads the fine print?
Who reads that?
Nobody reads the fine print. Look, man, I'm opening.
You
up
go all the
check
way
account.
down to the bottom and.
Yeah, where I need to sign, I want her to get this check cash, where I can get this account started.
Get this account started.
Forget all that stuff.
Well, it's because of trust. I mean, overall, the banks have been trustful. They haven't really. I mean, they're pretty much. They tell you when they steal from you. Okay. I mean, they do. They tell you there's a fee.
They tell you up front.
They tell you up front.
It's called a fee.
It's called a fee. Yeah, you're going to have to pay this, pay that fee. And then we're going to take your money, which is not your money anymore because you got that covered in our document.
Right.
We're going to go loan that out to people on fractional reserve banking, and we're going to make all kind of money on you, and you don't get a piece of it. You can't get a piece of it. You should get a piece of it. If I'm an investor, why don't I get a piece? They don't even pay any interest anymore, and they wonder why people are going into cryptocurrencies that are on the rise.
It's hitting everything related to the financial world. The stock market is being, and I understand we didn't get a chance to talk about it, but Bitcoin will be becoming a commodity.
Wow.
And so then they'll be able to do futures on it.
They're developing that right now. But see, the law, it's taking a little time because the law is going scratching their head.
Oh, they're going to figure
it out. There's not brilliant people in Washington.
They're going to figure it out by the middle of next year.
But of course, the bottom line to all this, guys, is how can we tax it?
Yeah.
We want to be able to
get
our
there's two vulnerabilities to all money. One is security.
Right.
You know, and the other is taxation, or legal theft. Okay, so you got taxation, or you got security
break.
Yeah, what's more secure? So and you really have the same thing in cryptocurrency. You got to keep your funds secure. Now, if we're the bankers, then we got to be smart enough to have our own security measures.
There you go.
In place, so that when we set up our wallets or set up our exchanges and who we do business with, that we make sure that they are good, solid companies that aren't getting hacked all the time.
There you go.
Right? And that we set up our procedures within those banks, within those exchanges, so that we don't put all our eggs in one basket and we leave big old holes for somebody to get in and steal our Bitcoin.
I do this every night when I go home. I'm the last person to secure the house.
Right.
Before I go to bed, I check
the doors.
Check the doors.
I do the same thing.
Same thing.
I lock them. The kids will leave them open.
Mm-hmm. You secure your house.
Right.
You're going to have to secure your Bitcoin.
You're
going to have to secure all your coins, man.
Absolutely.
You're going to have to secure them because they can.
And it's your responsibility.
It's your responsibility.
I mean, that's really kind of a libertarian way to think. Yeah. Everybody wants to say the government does everything for me.
Close my eyes and think it's going to be okay in the morning.
And they're all going to, hey, you got to be an independent, self-reliant person. And part of that is locking your doors, going in town where you know it's safe at certain hours. I mean, you got to use your noggin. And the same thing with cryptocurrency. You got to get up to speed to understand.
Matter of fact, we got some.
We do have one. Let's do that. Let's watch that video.
How to protect your currency.
This is a real. It's a piece of a real nice documentary, but it's only about 2 minutes. So go ahead and watch this. And I'll find it here in just a minute. You see it, fellas? There we go.
Companies like CoinBase and others do a very good job of ensuring as great a user experience as possible for cryptocurrencies, but they have a very hard task of ensuring that those users are safe to transact. Before you open your account at CoinBase, I would say set up a unique email that you're going to use for that CoinBase account that no one else in the world has ever seen before. Set a really hard and long password. Make sure you have only the ability to recover from a piece of paper that you control.
You call up your cell phone provider right now and you put every level of security you possibly can. You add a passcode to it. The next level of protection is that you add a do not port SIM card to your account. And that can last for a year. And that's what I've done.
A very common hack is people will call up your phone service provider, they'll get a copy of your SIM card, and then they'll get into your email through that.
Don't use two-factor authentication on an SMS that could be ported. Using something a bit more like Google Authenticator or a YubiKey would be better.
Diversify. Do not go and buy cryptocurrency in Bitcoin and Ethereum in one exchange. Buy them across multiple.
Spread them out. Just use different services, because it's unlikely that you're going to get hacked at the same time through all of them, especially if you have different emails and passwords. Keep it offline when you're not using it. There are vaults you can buy.
A hardware wallet, which is a hardware device that basically creates transactions without connecting to the internet. If you have the option, if you're trading tokens on Ethereum, for example, I think you should definitely look into decentralized exchanges. Decentralized exchanges do not hold user funds. The users will always have access to their own funds. Whereas in a centralized exchange, I am giving that exchange my funds, and then all of those funds are pooled together, and it's sort of a central point of failure.
Who would I trust to hold my cryptocurrency? Right now, I wouldn't trust anybody. I wouldn't even trust myself. So the question becomes, where do we store our money in the future that we can trust and that it's going to be safe? I don't know. But I'm definitely focused on solving that problem because I need a place. And I think many people around the world need a place too.
Okay, Hal. Yep. There we go.
Trust no one.
Yep. You got to take this stuff seriously, because at least with the bank, to think about this, the banks get hacked every day. It's so normal that when you call up the bank,
they don't even report it.
Oh, no, I'm talking about when somebody steals money out of your account. The bank doesn't even blink an eye. They immediately say, we'll pay you back. It's normal operation. But crazy, with this, if your Bitcoins get taken or your cryptocurrencies get taken, it's a done deal.
You're on your own.
You're on your own.
And so this is the big boys. So you're on your own. And let's just kind of go over some of the things that you said. One of the things that you need to do is create your own special email. And you don't give it no password like God is love or putting your wife's name on there or your husband's name and all that kind of stuff, because you need to have a real tight password so you can't be hacked real quick. So that's one of the things it talks about. It also talks about...
hold that thought. What you need to do, you need to have a separate account just for doing your Bitcoin. Don't do your personal and your cryptocurrencies under the same password. Don't blend them.
Don't blend them.
Yep. Totally separate.
That's one thing. Don't blend your email with your personal email. Make this a business cryptocurrency account email. You only do it for that particular transaction. That's what you use it for. The second one is to assign a difficult password. A real difficult password. Don't
1, 2, 3.
use some numbers and some hyphens and all that kind of, have it mixed up. So it's the more mixed up.
And the longer the better.
The longer the better. Now write it down somewhere so you don't forget it. So I know that's what
these are these are some of the things that even after we've been involved with the internet for the past 30 years, okay, pretty much, people are still
want to be simple about
it. They're lazy.
They don't learn. They click on stupid things. They wonder why they get viruses and on their computer. And I have to learn another password. Well, just write it down and put it in a safe place. I mean,
that's too easy, though.
I mean, really,
that's too easy, man. I want a simple password so I don't have to.
Well, some of your wallets have these. What they call key phrases, and you write down 10 words.
Yeah.
Okay. And you put those 10 words in so that if something goes wrong, somebody tries to breach your account, and you get an email from, let's say, CoinBase or somebody, or they say it looks like
those words.
Yeah, right. Or if you make a mistake and you mess up your wallet, you can get it restored.
There you go.
You can restore it back to its original configuration, and it'll show all your Bitcoins and everything. So. But they say print it out, and what I do is I put it in a safe.
Somewhere.
I put it in a safe.
Put it in a safe. You're gonna have to do this if you're really feeling.
And tell your wife about it or your husband about it, because they may throw that piece of paper away.
There you go.
Or if you should die in an untimely death, like a car accident, they at least can get in there and get into it.
Get access to it.
Right. So have it written down on a piece of paper in a safe.
This is the time to be smart.
Smart. Exactly right.
And the other one was you call your phone company and you get what they call a passcode. And not only that, they talked about a non-port.
Non-port. Do not port
SIM card.
Yeah. Do not.
Nobody changing your SIM card.
You don't want it to be portable.
Yeah, because these things here. You're out in different restaurants and stuff, and you've
Starbucks, the library, and you're just you don't know who's behind the scenes.
You don't know.
Yeah, these guys are good. They can hack into phones.
Or sitting out in a car somewhere.
Exactly. You're feeding off the Wi-Fi someplace, and
so you're going to have to upgrade your security. For yourself.
You got to realize you're living in an electronic world.
It's a digital world, man.
In a digital world, and you need to come up to snuff with understanding how that operates.
And remember, Bitcoin is a digital. It's currency of the internet.
That's right.
And what's the biggest problem on the internet? It gets hacked.
Security. Yeah.
Security is the biggest problem.
Here's the thing: if you or I moved to Washington D.C. tomorrow, okay, you or I did. We'd move to Washington, D.C. We'd probably scope out what part of town that we wanted to live in. It's had safe neighborhood, that kind of thing, right? But you'd also know in Washington, D.C., there's some tough neighborhoods. Or if it was New York City. You would learn where to go, where not to go, what to do. You would learn those things. You would ask around. You'd get some advice.
Sometimes you don't even have to ask. You can just look and say, no, I'm not going to open up my car. Would you leave your car door open?
Right.
In any neighborhood. I mean,
you park downtown, leave your car open. That's just stupid.
That's basically what you're doing is leaving
the keys in the car and open up the door.
Yeah, that's just dumb.
10 hours later, you think your car is going to be there? I don't think so. So that's
security's important.
Security. You're going to have to secure your currency.
Well, you're the bank.
You're the bank.
It's your responsibility.
You're responsible. Right. You're the bank. And you're responsible for that money that you've earned.
It's like a bank not having an alarm system.
Yeah, man.
Or a locked door. You know what I mean?
You got to do it. You got to do your thing. You got to do what's right for you and for your family and for your financial future. If you're accumulating a lot of money with Bitcoin, which you're about to do, you're going to have to do things a little bit different if you want to keep it secure. So that's part of it.
That's part of it. So what's our next point that guy mentioned?
Well, he talked about the passcode. Then he says you need to get the two-factor authenticator.
Right. Now, there's two ways to get that two-factor authenticator. Now, what that means is you go in with your password and your username, which is usually your email, then your password, and then a little thing pops up wanting an additional number. And on your phone, you get this
6-7 digit.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of them in here, and they change all the time. That's your authenticator. But there are systems out there that they started with by sending you a text.
Right.
The SMS. That's called a text.
Yeah.
Do not use the SMS.
Stay away
now,
from
maybe to get it set up the first time, yes, but then go and get the authenticator. And you just go that it changes every minute, so it's secure that way. It's randomly changing the number. So as long as you're in there and it's asking for it, you just find that number, and it's 326877.
Yeah.
Boom.
You put it in, and then you're in there. Then another one, he talked about your exchanges. Don't buy your cryptocurrencies all at one exchange.
Spread it out a little bit.
Spread it out. Diversify it.
So if somebody breaks into your CoinBase,
they don't get it all.
They don't get it all. Another thing to talk about is hard wallets.
Hard wallets, too, are great to have.
And I like the hard wallet he's talking about. I think a Treasure does that, and you can actually trade it on your actual hard wallet, and then outside the internet, because it's got an exchange. But then when you plug it in, it goes ahead.
You're pulling your money off
the grid.
Off the grid. That's a good way to look at it. It's off the grid.
Yeah.
It's in a hard wallet.
Boom.
About the size of this microphone right here, just a little deal, and it's got a little screen on it, and you can scroll through what cryptocurrencies you have.
Here's the question to that: how will you protect your hard wallet?
Well, don't lose it, dummy.
Yeah, don't be walking around with it.
Don't be walking around
and get robbed.
And get robbed.
Yeah.
Now, if you have to leave the country, you can put it in your pocket. Run,
but you don't display that hard wallet,
right?
And you lock that up.
There you go, bro. You got to do it. And then it said, keep it offline. That's basically what.
That's really the bottom line. Keep it offline.
Keep it offline. You got to do these things because.
Now, wallet I use is Exodus wallet, and a lot of people do, and they hold a lot of money on them. See some of these guys into.
And it's just sitting out there.
Yeah, these guys at BitConnect, they're making a buku of money with that system, and they got this, 58 Bitcoin on the screen or 96 Bitcoin, on the screen. But they feel pretty safe with it because it's on a hard wallet. It's on a computer. Man. It's on a hard wallet.
And I know all this is kind of new talk to a lot of people.
People that don't understand it.
And that's okay because this is new. But with
it's going to get better.
Yeah,
it's getting better.
It's going to get better, and you gotta get ahead of the game and stay with the game because this is what's going to be happening when you.
Well, a lot of these nightmares, Marvin, that you hear out there where people lost their Bitcoin, somebody hacked into the exchange, and you get some of those. And then they had that goof up this last week in that Ethereum token deal. Somebody pushed a button, had a button that just make it all invisible. It's crazy. But anyway, the reason some of these things have happened and they got these big horror stories. A lot of that happened before it really started getting mature. This is becoming a mature.
It's still in the adoption.
Yeah, we're still in the adoption series, but a lot of people learned some hard lessons. Yeah. But thank God it was only when Bitcoin was 10 and 20 and $1.
Yeah.
They've learned these lessons. Some of these guys that were talking on this particular video we showed, they got burned, but they haven't got out of it. Right. They know it's still valuable. So they're passing on this information to us, and we need to take it seriously.
Take it to heart.
Take it to heart.
And that's part of it.
Well, I guess we've talked ourselves out of a show right now. Yeah. We've told as much as we got in us right now. For today. You'll have to tune in next week. And remember to subscribe. We're here doing this every week, trying to make a fun, engaging conversation. Yeah, subscribe.
Yeah, we do it for the average guy and average lady.
Yeah, we're not highfalutin Wall Street types. We're just guys that are trying to provide a more wealth for our families.
Yeah. Everybody is in this.
Yeah.
From the high to the low.
That's right.
Black and the white. And I was talking with Carla, I says, you tired of working for your boss, and the boss is tired of you. So this is an avenue.
This is an avenue. This
is an avenue to make that difference, man. That's you tired of that same job. And we talked about a little touch before. I know it's a little touch subject. There's only two spectrums. There's the rich and there's the poor. The middle is deception.
Perception and deception.
Exactly. And your life is really not going to change if you're still right here.
Yeah.
You still.
It's all about educating yourself to what's available out there.
This is opportunity. Right. Earning 1% every day, 2% every day. Where do you get that? It's only one place right now that's doing that, and that's Bitcoin cryptocurrency.
That's right. Well, until next time, you guys be blessed and subscribe to our channel. And we would love to hear your comments. Give us a shout.
We out.
Peace.